Hello, welcome to the IELTS multi-step program. This is a program that is guaranteed to lead you to success strategies that would move you from an instant band 6 to a band 9 in the IELTS test. My name is Lanre and I'll be your anchor throughout this journey. With over half a decade of experience in teaching the IELTS to thousands of non-native speakers of the language, with proven strategies that have given success at every level of the test, I am qualified and much more than qualified to take you through this journey. Before we begin, we'll run through some key aspects of the IELTS multi-step program that will be the things that would inform how this whole session will go through. Come along with me as we go on this journey. The first thing that you need to know about the IELTS, and this is the most important thing that you need to take note of, is that the IELTS is a test of communication. While this might sound funny, most people have this misconception that the IELTS tests their intelligence. No, it doesn't. The most important thing tested in the IELTS is your communication competence. From the reading, writing, listening to the speaking sections, everything that you do is designed to assess how well you can communicate your ideas, your opinions, your views to a listener or a reader. How do I mean? In your speaking test, a question could be asked saying, "Do you like cooking?" In a normal conversation, the answer would be a yes or a no. But for the IELTS test, since the essence of the IELTS is to communicate effectively, we would want that answer to be backed up with a reason. Which means that in the event of a question asked like, "Do you like cooking?" you do not just say, "Yes, I do." You would have to back up that answer, that view, that claim with a reason. And a perfect answer would be, "Do you like cooking?" "Oh, yes, I do like cooking, as I was trained in the culinary arts." "Oh, yes, I do like cooking. When I was younger, my grandfather threw me in a pot of burning oil, and ever since then, cooking became embedded in my DNA." Sounds funny, but truthfully, that reason backs up my claim perfectly. And that is the essence of the IELTS. At every point in time, your task is to communicate as effectively, as clearly, and as simply as possible. The second thing that the whole program is hinged on for us will be this: synonyms and paraphrasing. What is the role of synonyms in the IELTS? What is the role of paraphrasing in the IELTS? Throughout the whole test, you will be faced with so many language challenges that would require you to find alternate ways of expressing yourself. And this is where synonyms comes in. In your reading test and your listening test, most of the questions that you will get will be couched in language that is not directly found in the passage or in the listening tapes that you're listening to. Most times, you will find synonyms of other variants of those words, of the keywords in the question, in the passage and in the listening tapes. This means that your knowledge of synonyms is going to be tested and is going to be leaned on much more in the IELTS. Paraphrasing refers to expressing a concept or an idea in your own words. Oftentimes in writing, you will be required to rephrase the question, and this would involve you to do what? Paraphrase, if you're not going to be using individual synonyms as replacements for the keywords in the question. Throughout the whole test, be it in speaking, in reading, in writing, or in listening, your knowledge of synonyms is going to be a huge factor determining your success. So we're going to be touching on this over and over again throughout the course of this program. The third thing that we will be talking about and that we will be focusing on is the speed versus accuracy debate. The IELTS is a test that assesses two key areas: your speed and your accuracy. Now, the logical question that people ask is this: which one is more important? Is it my speed or my desire to be correct, or my need to be correct? Personally, I have seen that over the years, speed is the most important element of the IELTS. Why is this? If you're fast enough in your writing, you will have time to cross-check, to proofread, and review your writing. If you're quick enough in your reading, you will have time to focus on those special questions that probably tax you much more than the other ones. If you're fast in your speaking, if you're really good in your speaking and you can pace yourself in your speaking, you will have more time to give additional details to expand your answer. Overall, speed comes in very handy when you're writing the IELTS. The time constraints in the IELTS are very, very brutal. 40 questions for your listening in under 30 minutes and 10 minutes to transfer your answers implies that you have less than a minute to answer each question. 60 minutes for reading with 40 questions implies that you have probably a minute and 5 seconds to answer each question. Any attempt to exceed this time limit would ensure that you will be left wanting at the end of the test. So, throughout the course of this program, I will be sharing with you strategies that would not only improve your speed, but also ensure that your level of accuracy is much more solid. The fourth item that we will be looking at, which underlines the IELTS multi-step program, is this. If the reading and the listening tests carry 40 questions each, and the implication is that each question carries just 1 mark, which means that both for your reading and for your listening, equal marks are assigned to all the questions. What does this imply? It means that no question is more important than the other. And because we're going to face questions that are predictably much more difficult than the other ones, the tendency for people is to spend more time on those difficult questions. But no, that isn't what you should do. You should learn how to skip questions in the IELTS. Skipping is a cardinal principle in the IELTS that would ensure that you use your time wisely, and then you have enough time to come back to those questions which you have skipped, which would probably be difficult, and spend a lot of time on them to figure them out gently, easily, and smoothly. So, equal marks and skipping is the fourth cardinal point that we will be hinging our IELTS multi-step program on. The fifth step is guessing versus guesswork. In the IELTS, guessing is allowed. And why is this? If each question in your reading and your listening carries 1 mark, it means that to get the maximum scores for that particular section, be it listening, be it reading, you have to answer all the questions. No question can be left unanswered in the reading and listening sections of the IELTS. What does this mean? Even if I make questions that I do not know the answers to, questions that are so challenging that I cannot figure them out, I am mandated to guess and put something there instead of leaving it blank. Any question that you leave blank automatically leads to a 0. Any question that you guess and put a random answer there automatically implies that you have a 75 or at least a 45% chance of getting it right. So why would you leave any question unanswered in the IELTS? If we're not going to leave any question unanswered, then definitely there should be some specific guessing techniques that can ensure that the answers that we're choosing at random have a much more likely chance to be correct. I will be sharing those guessing strategies with you through the course of this program, and I would advise that you stay tuned to the end of this video so that you can get these strategies. The sixth concept that our IELTS multi-step program hinges on is this: grammar, accuracy, and range. Grammar is a very big deal for most non-native speakers of the language. If you're an Indian, if you're an African, or if you're a Chinese person, or if you're an Asian person from the Southeast Asian section of the world, chances are that when you were taught English language in school, the focus was more on grammar. How to use the appropriate tenses, how to use the perfect punctuation, how to spell correctly, and how to use all the grammatical conventions that guide Queen's English. Newsflash: in the IELTS, grammar is one of the least important criteria that is checked. So, what is the focus for grammar in the IELTS? You must use grammar accurately, and you must also use a wide range of grammatical structures effectively. How do we do this? Stick with us till the end of the video and you will get more insights on how to do this effectively. The next tip that the IELTS multi-step program is hinged on is something that I find very, very dear to my heart. Ideas before words. What does this mean? It means that in the IELTS, since it's a test of communication, your ideas are as important as the words you use to express them. For the writing task, you're given two separate questions. In your writing task one, if you're taking academic, you're probably writing a report. You're definitely writing a report, sorry. And if you're writing the general training model, your writing task one is definitely a letter. And the writing task 2 is the same for both the academic and the general training models. Whichever one that you're doing, writing involves you thinking of ideas, brainstorming ideas, and then expressing them in the written format. When I say ideas before words, what this means is that never should you approach an IELTS writing question or an IELTS speaking question with the words that you want to use being the key thing in your mind. The first thing that you need to clarify and get sorted out in your mind will be the ideas. What ideas am I trying to express? Get down your ideas, and then you can now spend time to figure out the words that would perfectly express the ideas that you want to convey. To illustrate this further, for the writing task in the IELTS, it is mandatory that you brainstorm and put down your ideas in an outline first before you attempt to write. Why is this important? The brain, which is the key organ that you're engaging when you're doing the writing task, operates on a compartmentalized basis. It is better for you to separate the task of ideas generation clearly from the task of vocabulary generation. When you get an IELTS writing question, if you spend 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on your language competence, on brainstorming and creating an outline, it is not too much. Dedicate that time to the task of generating ideas so that by the time you're done with that, the only thing that you will left for you to do will be to pick up your pen and start writing. And when you're doing that activity, what you're doing is just generating the words to express those ideas that you have jotted down or that you have itemized somewhere in your answer sheet. Separating these two activities, that is ideas generation from vocabulary generation, will go a very long way in ensuring that your writing samples are top-notch and they are worthy enough to get the band 9 that you desire in the IELTS. Subsequent to that, practice is the next principle that our IELTS multi-step program is hinged on. The IELTS is a test that is very practical. The only way to achieve success in the IELTS is to do some self-led practice. This video that you're going to be watching, the IELTS practice program, the IELTS tutorial program that you've registered for, all the materials that you've downloaded from the internet or that you're going to be getting access to at the end of this video will do you no good if you do not take some time to sit down and practice on your own. Practice answering reading questions, practice the listening tests, practice writing the essays, and practice the speaking test with either a friend or a designated IELTS tutor. If you do not do this, you will not be able to evaluate and assess yourself to find out where you are and determine what the steps you need to take to get to where you want to be. Practice is an integral, non-negotiable aspect of the IELTS preparation scheme. And if you do not do this, I'm sorry to say you're setting yourself up for failure. Finally, and most importantly, the quality of ideas isn't assessed, it is the quality of expression that is assessed. I'll take that again. The quality of ideas is not assessed or evaluated in the IELTS, it is the quality of expression that is assessed. What does this mean? A lot of people approach the writing task, the listening task, the reading task, and the speaking task as a test of intelligence. And like I mentioned earlier, the first and most important thing that the whole IELTS multi-step program is hinged on is that the IELTS is a test of communication and not a test of intelligence. So for example, if I was given a question that asks me who is the most important member of the family unit, and I choose that the father is the most important member of the family unit, obviously, since this is the IELTS, the next step for me will be to come up with the reasons why the father is the most important member of the family unit. And because I do not have so much time and the IELTS is based on speed, I will generate 2 key reasons. Now, my reasons for the father being the most important member of the family unit are as follows. He's a disciplinarian and he's also the breadwinner. 2 solid points that I can use to create a 250-word essay that would get me band 9. But what if I didn't know these words? What if I didn't know the words to express disciplinarian or breadwinner? Would I still be able to write the IELTS essay? Yes, I would. So if I say that the father is the most important member of the family unit because he plays football with us and he also sings to mommy. Now, these ideas might sound very weak, but if I can convincingly express myself, back up these ideas with examples and reasons, and illustrate them clearly, and write an essay that is coherent, well structured, and well presented, I will be able to get the band 9. And why is this? The quality of the ideas is not what the examiner is particular about. What the examiner has been tasked to evaluate and assess in your writing, in your speaking, is what is the quality of expressions. These 9 principles that I've listed out underline the IELTS multi-step program. And throughout the course of this program, throughout the course of these videos that we will be sharing on this channel, on the Prep Plus channel, you will hear me mentioning and repeating these things over and over again, as they would be exemplified and illustrated in how they manifest in all the 4 macro skills of language learning, which are speaking, reading, writing, and listening. Once again, welcome to the IELTS multi-step program. This is a program that is guaranteed to move you from where you are, which is probably a band 5 or a band 6, to an instant band 9 with tested and trusted strategies that have worked for thousands of non-native speakers of the language and has proven to give them the good scores that they need to either emigrate or go for further studies wherever they want in the world. You are next, and you can be a part of the people who benefit from this largesse by just sitting down, watching this video, taking your pen, pausing at intervals to jot down ideas, to jot down concepts, and to do further research when you practice on your own. Once again, come aboard.